Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be talking about all of the books that have made me cry. Let's get into it. I'm going to be talking about them, ranking them from the books that made me cry the least, like a few tears shed maybe, to the ones who made me cry the most, so like full on sobbing my eyes out. The ranking is based on what I remember, the feelings I get towards the book now, the feelings I had then. Is it 100% accurate on the ones who made me cry the most? I'm not sure. I think so. I try my best. But yeah, let's just get on into it. There's a bunch of different genres here, so it's really interesting what makes me cry in a book. I wouldn't say I cry easily with books. I cry really easily with movies and TV shows, but with books, not as quickly because I need to like care for the characters in order to cry over them. So that's also why my favorite trope is found family. Like if I care for the characters, I'll cry no matter what happens. So most of these books do have that, and other than that, it could be something I just relate to or something else. I'll talk about each of the books and what made me cry in them, and stuff like that. I don't cry easily, but if I care for the characters, for the found family, I do cry very easily, if that makes sense. This first one is kind of ridiculous, because this is not a sad book at all. It's actually a spicy romance book. So why did I cry? Because of a certain interaction with these two characters. The way that they just were actually really like they were really thoughtful about each other, and it made me cry. I was like, oh my god, it was just so thoughtful to me, and it made me shed a tear. I didn't cry a lot, but I shed a tear, you know. I was like, oh my gosh, that's really sweet. And it's Twisted Lies by Anna Huang, which is by no means a sad book. It's also pretty long. It is the last book in the Twisted series. I didn't like the first book in the series. I liked the second book in the series a lot. I didn't like the third one, and then this one I really liked, and this is my favorite in the series. And it made me shed a tear. Like, what if a romance book can make me cry? Like, that's crazy. Like, romance books like don't make me cry. If a romance book can make me cry, you better bet it will be highly rated and it will be one of my favorites. So yes, Twisted Lies is the first one, just because of these two characters in the relationship were just being really thoughtful for each other, which I really loved. And I don't know, it got to me. So yeah, that's the first book that made me cry. The next book that made me cry, I'm going to talk about a bit quickly because I'm not overly fond of the series currently. But it is Powerful. You've read Powerless, the first book in the series. You already know what happens in this book, and that's what made me cry. But I just, yeah, it was sad. I do think this book specifically was good. But yeah, I'm not going to be talking about the series too much. So next book that has made me cry is honestly the entire series made me cry on the reread. But on the first read, this book made me cry. On the second read, it did too. But the the book I'm talking about is A Court of Silver Flames by Miss Sarah J. Maas. On my reread, I cried during ACOMAF and ACOWAR as well. But on the first read, this one also made me cry. On the second read too. But yeah, just honestly talking about the series as a whole, but this book specifically, Nesta is a character that just really hits home for me. Has an eldest daughter. She is 2, and just, yeah, she's just a very relatable character to me. The way that, like, I feel like I've changed quite a bit as of recent, but me before that is so Nesta, and so reading this book and seeing her kind of come out of that made me so emotional because it just really reminded me of myself, I guess. Not in every way, but you know, in some ways. And then on the reread, I actually also related to Cassian a bit. Didn't expect that because on the first read I didn't relate to Cassian at all. but I feel like now I did. Just some things. I just related to both of these characters. I already love this series so very much. One of my favorite series ever. So the found family was there, the relatability was there. So this was a recipe for tears. And yeah, it got me crying. Yeah, it did. Yeah, not the most I've cried, but it was just a few tears in some moments on some lines, you know. So yes, the next book is one of my favorite books ever, one of my favorite standalones ever, and it is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I adore this book so much. If there is one book I would recommend to anyone not knowing anything about their reading taste, who they are, what they like, whatever, it would probably be this book. It is so good. I have so many friends who read such different things, and so many of them like this, even if they have like such conflicting reading taste. Yeah, this book is so good. Taylor Jenkins Reid is a wonderful author, and this book made me cry. I cannot tell you anything about what made me cry, just that it is the ending. The ending of this book made me cry. I can't tell you anything about it because it is a huge spoiler. So yeah, if you have read this, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I'm sorry, read the book. It's so good. Evelyn Hugo tells you her entire story, and then at the end, the end is so heartbreaking. So yeah, this book also made me cry, but it's absolutely one of my favorite books ever. Next, shockingly, we have another romance book. These are the only two romance books, I'm pretty sure, that have made me cry. Twisted Lies was one of them. And this one is the second one, and it is Caught Up by Liz Tomforty, my favorite book in the Windy City series. Malachi Rose, oh my man, my man, my man. Yeah, this book made me cry quite a bit actually, and I was so shocked. I was like, why am I crying? This is a spicy sports romance book. Why am I crying? But it touched me so much. In this book we follow Malachi Rhodes, who is a single dad. So he has a little son, and there's a conversation with the FMC Miller in this book, where it's kind of post or during the post-act breakup, third act breakup, and they're having this whole conversation, and it just made me tear up. It made me cry. I don't know, I feel so emotional about these characters and Kai and his little son, who is adorable, and I just love them so much, and it made me cry. But this series also has a great found family. This is the third book in the series, but yeah, this is just, it made me cry. I don't know if I can still, I probably tabbed it. Yeah, I did tab it. This is the moment that made me cry. I won't show it to you because it's spoilers, I think. Wait, maybe I can see if I can read the quote. If I could, I'd chase you. I'd spend every free day on an airplane to get to you. Even if that meant I only got to kiss you once before I had to fly back to Chicago. I'd spend my off season living out of a hotel or out of your fucking van just to be close to you, but it's not only me I'm making decisions for anymore. That just had me sawing my eyes out. But yeah, I love this book so very much. One of my favorite romance books ever. Highly recommend. But yeah, it did also make me cry. The next book that made me cry is Madison Beer's memoir, The Half of It. I love this woman so much. She is my favorite artist of all time, one of my favorite people of all time. The way she speaks, she's just so emotionally intelligent, and honestly, it's sad that she had to be at such a young age, but I'm so glad she is doing better now. But the way whenever she talks, I'm just drawn in, like I'm listening instantly. She's just, I love listening to her talk. It doesn't really matter what she talks about, but she talks about mental health, which I really appreciate. I think it's so beautiful the way she talks about it. And this is her memoir, and I think a lot of people were surprised, like, with how young she was. Like, why are you already writing a memoir? Like, you barely lived yet. But this woman has been through so much at such a young age. It's crazy. And so reading about it and just seeing how she feels about things and how she dealt with it and how she came out on top of it was really beautiful and really inspiring. But she also talks about a lot of heavy, dark things that she struggled with, and that, oh my, it hit so hard for me. And I love this book so much because it just, I think I have never seen anyone more close with their fans than Madison, truly. And with this book as well, it just, she's amazing. I love her so much. I love this book so much. It's beautiful. I have a little bow in here. I just thought that was cute. But yeah, I also annotated this book a lot, and I definitely want to reread it at some point. But yeah, this book definitely made me cry, and I think whenever I reread it, it will keep making me cry every single time. Staying on the topic of memoirs, there's another book that made me cry, and it is Moonwalk by Michael Jackson. I've just become kind of infatuated by Michael Jackson. Like, I've known his songs like my entire life, of course, as everyone does, I think. And like when I was really young, I danced to like a bunch of his songs. And I remember being so excited to tell my mom, because she's not really a fan of anyone. She's just not really, that's just not really her thing. But I remember just being so excited to tell her, like, we're doing a Michael Jackson dance, because I know that she really loves his music. And I was like, there's a surprise of Michael at the end. And it was literally just a laugh from Thriller. And I was like, there's a surprise, like, you have to see it. And I was really excited about that. But I never knew anything else about him besides his music. And then my mom asked if I wanted to go see the movie with her. And I said, yes, I do. And then I was like in the cinema, I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, what? How did I know none of this shit? And my mom was just sitting there like, yeah, I know that. I was like, what? And so then I fell into the whole entire rabbit hole on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere, of Michael Jackson and the movie and Jafar Jackson. And so here we are. I of course, as a reader, I knew immediately that I had to get his book. I loved it. The little things he did for this book. For one, the cover is gorgeous. I love the font. It's beautiful. The fact that he included a drawing made by himself. Also, what? I'm sorry, why did he have to be so talented? You can dance, you can sing and dance at the same time. You can make music like crazy. You can draw. What can't you do? Like, oh my god, leave some for the rest of us, please. He also included his signature in every single copy, so that every single fan felt like they had a signed copy. The movie, of course, touches upon a bunch of things, but it is a biopic, so I feel like it is mainly centered around, you know, the songs, the performances, which, of course, that's totally to be expected. But reading this, it dives more into what he was thinking, how he felt about things, who he looked up to, which was really interesting to read, because I feel like so many people look up to him, and I feel like he didn't really get that. But then when you hear him talk about the people he looks up to, he sounds exactly like the people who look up to him. It's so funny. But yeah, I'm literally tearing up talking about this. It was just crazy. But yeah, this book also made me cry, for obvious reasons. I think it made me really emotional. There's a bunch of photos also in it, which is really cool. I want to reread this. I'm fully annotated, but my mom wants to read it, so I'm holding back until she has read it. Yeah, I love this. I love this so much. Reading this, and I never knew Michael, right? Obviously. I'm way past his time, you know. But reading this and seeing how he is in like interviews, and it's like his own home movies, and just, you know, it felt like this was really in his words. It really felt like he told the story, which, I mean, kind of the point. But you know, I also have read memoirs I'm like, this doesn't really sound like you. Or just, I don't know, it feels really distanced somehow. And this one didn't. It really felt like it was almost like he was telling me a story, like you know, which I think makes so much sense because he loved stories, obviously. So yeah, I need to stop talking about this, but I could talk about this forever. But I love this book so very much. Definitely made me cry. Yes, I highly recommend, if you like Michael Jackson, to read this book. It's really good. This book has also made me cry, for obvious reasons. If you have read this book, and it is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I love the Six of Crows duology. This is the second book in the duet. And I mean, if you've read it, you know about something that happens in this book, and that made me cry. I cannot tell you what it is because, spoilers, it's a very big spoiler. But yeah, it is really good. One of my favorite duologies ever. If not my favorite duology, honestly. I love this set of characters. Again, the Fun family comes back. And so I cared about them so much already. And then that had to happen. And so obviously I was crying. Yeah. And this book I always found so interesting to talk about because my experience with this book is very interesting. I have read this book, I think, 3 times now. The first time, I didn't really get it. I didn't really like it. I was like, I don't like these characters. I don't get what's going on. I'm so confused. And then but I just had this urge to reread it. I was like, I feel like I have to read this book again. I feel like this could really be a book for me. Like, I just want to get it. And I read it again, and it became one of my favorite books ever. And then I think I read it again. I'm not sure. I have seen the show also 2 times already. But this just became one of my favorite books ever. It took over my life. It altered my brain chemistry, truly. Because do I like these characters? Not necessarily. But I do. I cannot stop reading, and I cannot stop thinking about them. Like, they consume my mind so often. I should probably tell you what the book is. It's Normal People by Sally Rooney. And I feel like only if you have read this book, you get it. Like, it's so conflicting, this book. Like, if you don't like this book, I fully get it. I didn't like it at first. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I was like, I don't really get it. And then I reread it, and it just, it gripped me, and it didn't let me go anymore. It's just, the writing is so gorgeous, and just the quotes. I'll just read you a quote, but also I relate to Connor quite a bit, especially with his anxiety and the way he thinks. It's really relatable to me, so that made me cry. But also just the writing. It's consuming, but also if you've watched the show, you could probably tell what it's sad. I'm not a religious person, but I do sometimes think God made you for me. No, it's so fine, actually. It's so fine. He understands now that his classmates are not like him. It's easier for them to have opinions and express them with confidence. They don't worry about appearing ignorant or conceited. They are not stupid people, but they're not so much smarter than him either. They just move through the world in a different way, and he'll probably never really understand them. And he knows they will never understand him or even try. Yeah. I really took Connor. I love the writing. I love the quotes. I want to reread it now, actually, again. And this book we're just gonna get out of the way, because if you've read this book and you didn't cry, I applaud you. I don't know how you did it. I applaud you. Because with this book, you go through 800 pages of pure and absolute pain. This book is divided in parts. There's a part called the happy years. I can tell you, it is anything but happy. I need to calm down, but this book pisses me off. 800 pages of pure pain and torture. If you have let me just make this clear. I do not recommend this book. If you have any ounce of self-love, you will not read this book, because I don't know why you would ever write this. That being said, it is one of my favorite books ever. A Little Life by Hanya Yanagera. I'm sorry if I butchered that. I don't, yeah. Obviously, if you know anything about this book, it is literally known to be the saddest book ever written. So that should tell you enough. And yes, I did cry on multiple occasions, but especially at the end, and the final quote makes me sick to my stomach if I hear it again, if I read it again. This book is sickening. It's truly pure pain. I would never recommend this book to anyone ever, because I couldn't do that to my worst enemy. Like, what? This, oh my god. On the one hand, I'm like, I really want to reread this, like, now, later in my reading career. I don't know if I can, though, because I don't know if I'll come out of it alive. I could tell you the last quote. I mean, it won't mean anything to you because you don't know anything. But I can tell you. It might make you cry, so bear with me. So I can't say the first sentence because that's the literal spoiler. And so I try to be kind to everything I see, and in everything I see him. We're back on track. Kind of. But this next book has also made me cry quite a lot. And actually, I was reading this book. I've cried, I think, 2 or 3 times that I can remember. And one of those times was on the public train. Kingdom of Ash by Miss Sarah J. Maas. And all I can say about the thing that has made me cry the most in this book, I mean, this is the last book in a long series. Obviously, The Found Family made me cry. But the thing that made me cry the most is The 13. So, I'll leave you with that. I won't say anything else because spoilers. But also look at this book. Do we see this? Do we see this? This is 1,000 pages. That's crazy. But this book, oh, it's so good. If I can recommend you any fantasy series, it's Throne of Glass. One of the best, if not the best fantasy series I've ever read. So we have made it to the top 3. The top 3 books that have made me cry the most. Honestly, Kingdom of Ash and the book I'm talking about now are kind of on the same level. But this is the top 3, guys, of books that made me cry the most. Well, kind of. The book I'm talking about now is Alchemized by Stanley Yu. If you know anything about this book, you know that it's known to be sad. And this is not just sad, this is devastating. This is a dark, dark, dark book. A dark fantasy. This will not be for everyone. But oh my god, I've read Manacled too, this was a fanfiction first. Manacled. I read that too, but reading this? Ooh. Oh my god. The way, I'm literally going to cry. The things that happen in this book are so horrifying. The way it mirrors and like the way it can like be seen as symbolism to our world now is just devastating, and the fact that it does is just sickening. Stop talking about this book because I actually feel crying. Obviously this book made me cry. It's just even more devastating if you think about our own world while reading this, and I had that so many times. But yeah, Alchemized, I also really want to reread this, but it's not good for my mental health, let me tell you that. I guess it has a somewhat happy ending, but it's not really. This next book I'm going to be talking about is the book that has made me cry so much while reading it, like actually multiple times while reading it, and then also while watching TikToks about it, and also for months after just thinking about this. I actually still have crash outs when I think about the ending of this book, and it's Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. I am not ready for the next book in the series. Like, I want to read it so bad, but I'm not ready. And I think I might die a little bit inside when this series ends. The 3rd book in the series, so I cannot tell you a lot about it. Um, but yeah, this is again with Found Family. I care for these characters just a lot. So that made me cry, but also just the things that happen in this book are also just really devastating. It's so good. It's so good. The ending of this book also made me cry because what the fuck was that? What do you mean I turned a page and it says acknowledgements? That's crazy! It made me cry a lot. I cannot tell you a lot because it was mainly about the ending and other things that happened, but I cannot tell you because spoilers, so it's hard. But yeah, the ending of this book and also just everything that happens with the dragons, with Xaden, I'll leave you with that. I cannot tell you anything else, but if you've read this, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm here to talk to you about the last books I'm going to be talking about. These are the books that have made me cry the most out of any. And yeah, it's a series, but I couldn't tell you which one made me cry the most because I cried to all of them so much. Yeah. It is the Magnolia Park series by Jessa Hastings. Oh my goodness. I've read the first 4. I have yet to read the 5th one, but every time I finish one of these, I have to take a little break for my own mental health. Yeah, and I say that as a joke, but it's not a joke. This is my favorite series ever. This, I guess it's classified as romance, but it's not to me. It's so much more than a romance. But this Found Family, like, I hate all of these characters with my whole entire being, but I love them so fucking much. It's crazy. So Found Family makes me cry in this. The writing is sickening. It's sickening. It's unlike anything else I've ever read. So that also makes me cry because the quotes make me sick. Actually, I love these books so much. I will never stop talking about them. They are some of my favorite books ever. These are not forever. I'm like, if you don't like these, I fully get it. Fully get it. But they are for me. I will find some quotes for you. Do one quote from every single book. So this is from the first one. It is like the last page, but it's not a spoiler. It's just quote. Can you die from a broken heart? Do you know? And if I did, and they cut me wide open, would I bleed loving him? When they lift my heart out of my chest cavity to weigh it, does it weigh the same as his top lip? Is his name carved into my third rib to the left? Bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh. He's killing me. Loving him is killing me too, and I'm afraid because how many loves really do you get in a lifetime? How many chances do you give it before you let go? I read you 2 from this one because, oh my god, I'm gonna die. Daisy's that feeling you get when you're floating on your back in a pool and there's so much fucking noise around you until you put your ears under and it all goes quiet. That's how she feels to me. I think I understand for a fleeting moment why everything that's bad and painful and sad is worth it if you love someone. Because I'll remember how he's looking at me now forever. Quote, guys, this quote, I think it's tattooed on my heart. He laughs and for some reason it sounds like I'm ringing the doorbell of the home I grew up in. I'm dead. He feels like I'm looking at a painting. This one? In another life, I reckon I could have loved you. In another life, I would have let you. Never you mind that I already love her in this one. Yeah. I think we can tell now how much this series means to me and how much I have cried over it. So yeah, I cannot explain this series ever. It's a feeling. So yeah, I need to stop talking because I have talked way too much in this video. I've literally cried in this video, so we need to stop. So those were all the books that have made me cry. Let me know if you have any books that made you cry, and do you cry easily with books or not? Those are all the books that made me cry. So I will see you in the next one.